My name's Sean Greenberg, and I've started a nonprofit called Industrial Hemp for Victory. My main focus is educating people about the industrial products that can be made from hemp. Dating back about 8,000 years, this plant is one of the oldest cultivated plants in civilization. I think the oldest pair of shoes that we have in a museum are made from hemp. George Washington grew hemp. Thomas Jefferson grew hemp. We paid taxes with hemp through the 17 and 1800s. Okay? Why did this become illegal? Well, in 1916, the United States Agriculture Department lobbied Congress and said, hey, we need to get corporations to start investing in hemp again because it was so much more useful. It grew in 4 to 5 months, yielded 4 times as much usable pulp as a tree, whereas a tree takes 20 years to grow. Okay? While it's growing, it eats the CO2, helping our environment, right? 30% of the plant's weight is seed, which is food. And this is the kicker. Marijuana and hemp are not the same thing. Marijuana is the female plant being taken away at a young age, separated from the male, not pollinated, where the flower grows fully with no seeds, high with THC and cannabinoids. Whereas hemp is grown closely together, right, on several acres, if not hundreds of acres, right, where the male pollinates the female. The female flower creates lots of seeds, making the THC almost non-existent. You could smoke this plant all day and you wouldn't get high. So how is it that Congress totally ignored the United States Agriculture's prediction that all paper products would be made from hemp by 1940? Well, they passed the Marijuana Tax Act in 1937, almost 20 years to the day that they were lobbied to start lobbying corporations for hemp, right? So the Stamp Act, what did it do? It made farmers pay taxes on what they predicted they would yield before they put a seed in the ground. So of course, they stopped growing it. And then within 20, 30 years, our government lumped it together with marijuana, and then we put it in a Schedule I narcotic and didn't differentiate the difference between the two, right? Labeling it a Schedule I narcotics. And for the past 75 years, this has been labeled a drug by America. It's time that we change that. It's time that we show people that you can build your house out of it. Your car, Henry Ford built a car out of it in 1941. But, of course, by the time he got done building the car, because it was about a 6-year thing that he invested in it, no farmer was growing hemp anymore, so he had to scrap the product. Well, we were at war, too. Let's not forget that. I do love facts. But the point being is that our government and corporations totally ganged up on this plant. All aspects of it, made it the same, and got rid of it. And now you look years later and you see that plastic, fiberboard, hempcrete, clothes, paper, food, and let's not forget the root, when it's boiled with water and then mollited with oil, is one of the oldest natural antibiotics known to humankind, and also an anti-inflammatory, and was in every pharmacopoeia in the world, from the Penzal, the first, all the way to the U.S. Pharmacopoeia and the Merck Index, which it was removed in 1950, I believe. So I created this nonprofit because, what do I love? I love the Constitution. By the way, weren't the founding documents written on hemp? Wasn't the first flag made from hemp fiber in America? It's time that we expose this corruption as what it is. This is what I call the biggest industrial cover-up in American history. Not only could we possibly solve world hunger, but our houses, cars, etc. could be made from a plant that's grown by a farmer. So instead of paying a farmer not to grow, we actually could be a fully self-sustaining nation, not needing to import steel from other countries. We would be a leading exporter, and people would look at us with awe, which is what God intended. God doesn't make a plant that can heal you, shelter you, clothe you, and feed you. And it's never, ever killed anybody to be illegal. It's a crime what they've done, literally. And it's time for us to stand up. I ask that you go to Industrial Hemp for Victory. Join my fight. Contribute. Spread the word. God bless America.